This was merely an idea. Okay. This was an idea turned reality, and we are continuing to grow, not just this show. You understand what I'm saying? We are continuing to grow a brand, a lifestyle, an enterprise, all the things. Welcome to Mental Shampoo with your host, Kimar Cain. Join me as we explore life's big questions, the unique perspectives of intriguing creators and artists. You're ready to unravel the art of living right here on Mental Shampoo. Yo, what's happening? It's Kimar Cain coming to you all the way live, your favorite country cousin, your favorite Mississippian, and your best friend. And y'all are tapped in with Mental Shampoo Season 3, Numero 3. All three of y'all. Listen, we knocked out Season 3. We got a lot of love off of this season. Yo, I appreciate everybody who has tapped into this show, okay? Because this was merely an idea, okay? This was an idea turned reality, and we are continuing to grow, not just this show. You understand what I'm saying? We are continuing to grow a brand, a lifestyle, an enterprise, all the things. Now, when we check the analytics, let me tell y'all something. Not just people in Mississippi are watching this show. There are people all over the country watching Mental Shampoo, even outside of the country. I think I saw Canada and like Ghana. You know what I mean? We got folks in the motherland watching Mental Shampoo. And for those who may be new to Mental Shampoo, this is a show based on, okay, my favorite Bible verse, period. My favorite Bible verse. I'm gonna get it tatted on my arm this summer. Shout out to my artist Jimmy Bogan. He did all my tattoos except my first one. I got that one when I was like 19, but I digress. I'm gonna get Romans 12:2 right across my forearm right there, and I'm gonna get Mental Shampoo probably in some kind of cool ass font, because Romans 12:2 says, "Be ye transformed." All right, by the renewing of your mind. All right. Bruce Lee said, be like water. We have to learn to adapt, readjust, become anew, for a lack of better words, right? So be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Life is all about perspective. Life is all about how we see a thing. So, we've been having conversations on topics, that can like literally change your perspective. Gaining insight and wisdom outside of yourself is how we learn to live a better life. Like the Bible says also, lean not on your own understanding. If we only leaned on our understanding, we might be in a little trouble. We just might be in a little bit of trouble if we only leaned on our understanding, because we have wisdom and understanding only to an extent. There's a whole world out there. You know what I mean? There's a whole world out there. And so I just want to give a huge shout out to all the guests, man, who tapped in and spent some time with me. Slim Pusher, okay? Colt Boumaye, Kamikaze, Christina Macfield, P3, Portia Cooper, Nick Walker, Benny Foster. Who else am I missing? Oh, the beloved, okay? Amanda Furge. And, I enjoyed every single conversation. I was able to gain. Oh, my brother Anu. Cannot forget my brother Anu. But every single conversation that was had on this season has been literally a shampoo of sorts for me. And I've been hoping it's the same thing for you. I ain't gonna lie, creating this show, it's been like a free therapy session, a free consultation, for lack of better words, because these are people that have reached out to me and I've reached out to them, and there's been a mutual respect. And these are people that I find value in, and some of these people find value within me. And so we're just, it's a barter system in that regard. Like we're sharing wisdom, we're sharing conversation, we're sharing time, we're breaking bread with one another, and we are putting these conversations on public display. All right. Because I feel as if the world needs to see it. Mississippi got something to say. I don't know, was it the Source Awards? I believe it was the Source Awards when Outkast won best new group or best album. I'm butchering it, but they won best something. And that was like the first Southern group to win this hip hop award. And like they got booed and everything. Like Big Boy was humble with his approach to everything. But Andre Three Stacks was like, look, man, the South got something to say. But this is what I want y'all to know and realize that Mississippi also has something to say. All right. And it's not just in music, it's not just in rap, it's in the everyday people. It's in the everyday people, ordinary people, like John Legend sings about. Okay. The people here in Mississippi, we got something to say, we got something to offer, we got something to give. And the Mental Shampoo is going to be the platform to show you, the world, the people, that, yo, we got something to say. We ain't necessarily got nothing to prove. We don't have anything to prove. We just letting y'all in on the gifts and talents that's already here. You dig what I'm saying? We are letting y'all in on the conversation. We are letting you all in on the culture. And this season 3, was all about, the artists and their art. Artists and their art. Art imitates life, and life imitates art. I read that in Nipsey Hussle's book. I talked about that in the introductory video of season 3, where the marathon continues is the name of the book. If you're interested in community organizing or anything in that way, that is a great book for you to read on Nipsey Hussle's life. You know what I'm saying? And I just adore and admire how Nipsey Hussle was able to use that culture, Crenshaw, LA, West Side, West Coast, all them things, and make it beneficial to him in the long run. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, gang culture. He was even strategic in becoming a Rolling 60s Crip, right? It wasn't just so we can gang bang per se. It's like, no, like I gotta get, some credentials in this regard so that I can like really push out the message that I'm really looking to get out here into the world. Like they say, man, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. Like the Bible verse says too. What is it? The Bible verse that says that being in the world but not of the world. That's what we doing. Being in the world but not of the world. The way that Nipsey Hussle was able to do what he do within the West Coast culture, within the gang culture, within the rap game, you know what I mean, and be able to develop a tech situation out there on the West Coast, be able to develop the Marathon brand, clothing, and even now you got the Marathon Burger by Black Sam and continuing the Marathon legacy. Okay, so artists in their art. I brought up that book because that's where that quote came from. How art imitates life and life imitates art. It's a recycling thing. It's an ongoing thing. My life is a reflection of certain art that I've seen over the years. Okay, and I hope that my art through Mental Shampoo, as you can see, I hope that my art will be able to like help you to develop parts of your life. You know what I mean? Like everything is art. This table is art. This chair is art. This shirt, this hat, these frames, this water. Everything is art because it helps us to live, y'all. It helps us to live. It helps us to be. It helps us to grow. It helps us to show personality, character, our genius, okay? And then, like Christina McField shared in her episode, like, if there's no story, there's no art, right? And so, like, even the story behind Mental Shampoo, Great Scott McKenzie, he had has an audio book called Think. Once you think it, ink it. And I listen to that audio book at least once or twice a year because there's so much valuable information within this audio book. But like going down a rabbit hole of his work, and years ago, I saw some interviews that he done and he mentioned Mental Shampoo. And I adopted it, you know what I mean? And I'm beginning to make it do what it do in that regard because like it was a beautiful concept. And I heard him say it like once. I looked it up, it wasn't nowhere. And I was just saying, like, oh, you know how people be like, oh, that's dope or that's wise. I started saying, oh, Mental Shampoo. And I'm like, oh, that could be a show. And now here we are. All right. So just continuing to thrive on life and the fact that we can, to an extent, be a god of our circumstance. To an extent. Now, control the controllables. Okay? Control the controllables. But, we have the power to create our said reality through the art that we create. Like, we are made in the image of God. We are God-like, all right? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, okay? So if you got a word that you jotting down in your journal, write the vision and make it plain, you dig? And you're able to work your faith because you can't just say, hey, Holy Spirit, do this for me, do that for me, without getting your hands dirty. You got to keep your hands moving. You got to keep, like, listen, we in 2025. I started my first show, the Kimar Cain show, in 2025? 2015. 10 years ago. 10 years ago. I was living in Jackson, Tennessee, and me and an ex-girlfriend of mine, we were living in Jackson, Tennessee. And, long story short, I supported her and with her aspirations, and I expected the same in return, and I didn't quite get that. She didn't quite understand where I was going with this whole podcasting thing. She's like, why you buying all of this? What's this? What's that? You know what I mean? I'm like, just trust me. You dig what I'm saying? Just trust me. Long story short, no longer with this young lady, beautiful woman. Shout out to her, okay? But I realized, like, all right, I got to keep going, and I got to keep going without her. But 2015 was my first podcast, the Kimar Cain Show. You can find it on SoundCloud. It's still on SoundCloud. And like, y'all, I study myself. I do. And listening to when I first started the Kimar Cain Show back then, all the way up through to Working Woman Wednesday, which is another series that I had while living in Atlanta. That was also one of my first events that I've ever thrown in Atlanta. My first 3 to 4 months in Atlanta, I threw an event, had 40, 50 people in the room. What? I'm dope, God damn it. Pulled it off. And I had the series Working Women Wednesday where I interviewed some dope, amazing women that are doing amazing things. Some of these women that did not know each other met each other through my show. And they are close friends till this day. You know what I mean? Working Women Wednesday, the Family Tree podcast with the beloved, the beautiful and beautifully talented Ashley F.G. Norwood. You know what I'm saying? Mental Shampoo. I've done a lot of, these aren't just podcasts to me, man. Like, these are full-blown productions. Shout out to my wonderful, amazing friend, Amanda Page. I call her AP for short. She is responsible, quite frankly, for my digital footprint in this internet world. She is responsible for that digital footprint. Without her, I wouldn't have been able to meet my good brother, you know what I mean, my new chosen family for the last few years, KD, Creative Arts in the building, Kendrick Davis, who now produces the show with me. Like, this is my partner. Like, this is us. Like, this is what we doing. That's what we growing. This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you got to move your feet. You got to keep your hands moving. If I just kept Mental Shampoo in my mind all these years, if I would have just kept the Kimar Cain Show in my mind all these years, I wouldn't have got the Mental Shampoo. That's what I was meaning to say. If I never started my first show, I would have never had the shows in between leading up to this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, at first, starting the podcast, it was selfish. But then I learned, you got to put a message out there. And I'm praying and I'm hoping that y'all have been able to receive a great message with Mental Shampoo. You dig what I'm saying? Because That's my intent. Like my favorite Bible verse, once again, Romans 12:2. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. I pray that your perspective has had a shift. Okay? I pray that your perspective has had a shift so that you can like create better habits, better hobbies, better activities to make your life more beneficial to you, which will in turn make everybody else around you life a little bit better. My boy Anu said, he said, man, if you want to change the world, start on your street. You know what I'm saying? My boy Anu, he always say, Anu like a new car, hailing from the north side of the Jack, Presidential Hills to be exact. So shout out to North Jackson, man, because y'all produced a hell of a brother. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kamikaze, who came on here and spit some historical events regarding Jackson's hip-hop scene. All right. Once again, shout out to the beautiful and beautifully talented Christina Macfield, who came up and shared a lot about the inner child and the way she came up and how that is showing up in her life professionally, personally, and with her career, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Like, yo, your inner child being okay with the unknown. There is blessings in uncertainty. That was learned in that conversation. Shout out to Portia and Nick, you know what I mean? They were able to show like, hey, we can have a good time, but we can also get serious about, what's happening within the city. You know what I mean? We like to make people laugh. We like to put that shit on, for lack of better words, very fashionable individuals. But at the end of the day, don't play with the genius. Don't play with the genius. All right? Amanda Furge, who talked about going to get your words. Go get your words. Words are like water to the brain. Your brain is the soil, and your words are the water that's planting the seed that's in your mind to make you do what you do. What we talking about right now? Mental Shampoo, okay? Coke Boumaye, who letting you know, like you don't have to follow the crowd. You know what I mean? It's okay to feel. All right? It's okay to cry, okay? It's okay to not be okay. Shout out to my boy Coke Boumaye, okay? Man, this season was beautiful. And I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret, because some people may not know. I don't feel as if I am the best conversationalist. I don't have notes right now. I'm freestyling for real. I type two things on my notes right here on my computer. This is more so for an aesthetic. But I'm freestyling for real. Like, being vulnerable, I don't feel like I'm the best conversationalist. But I don't have notes with my guests because I want to feel the vibrations of my guests and feed off of them and be able to kind of just practice my conversation with my guests. And it's been helpful to me outside of this show because I also deal with social anxiety. Yes, I can network, but then I feel like socializing and networking are two different things to me. Now, they go back to perspective. Like my perspective can switch, but I feel like networking and socializing are two totally different things. I can network my ass off and get some shit done. But socializing, I feel like I'm not the best at. So like when I have these conversations, it honestly helps me with my conversation in my social life. Right? And it helps me to kind of, be more comfortable in social settings. Right? And so when I got people hitting me up saying, man, Kimar, man, hella all these interviews are so dope, and they complimenting the guests, but then y'all showing me love. Like, I love the way that you're an active listener. Y'all, words of affirmation. That's one of them love languages. Y'all really showing me love in that aspect, like words of affirmation. Like, bro, like, yo, love how you an active listener. To the ladies out there, Kimar, you're such a great listener. You know what I mean? That's important to me. To know that I have a skill of not just selective hearing, but active listening to everything, right? That's where we get with it, man. Like I'm becoming better I'm becoming a better man because of something that I created and I am intentionally sharing with the world while also being mindful that look, honestly, like Bell Hooks say, like I don't even capitalize my name. Some people have caught on to that. And that's because of Bell Hooks. If y'all are familiar with Bell Hooks, she doesn't capitalize her name either. And the reason being because she said that she doesn't want her name to be bigger than the work. I don't capitalize my name no more. And it's been like that, honestly, for about 4 or 5 years for real. I no longer capitalize my name in emails and everything else because I don't want my name to be bigger than the work. All right. At the end of the day, I just want all of us to be okay mentally. At the end of the day, I just want all of us to be okay. That's it, bro. That's it, beloved. All right. So, like I said, this show was an idea turned reality, and I just kept putting my one foot in front of the other, and I came across and developed a team, and like this is the result. And we got so much more and such a more, we have such a long way to go. I don't want to say a long way, but we got a way to go. All right, because I feel like we're closer than we've ever been. Again, shout out to Marty Woodard. He is a mastermind marketing guy. He worked for P&G and I think P&G. I don't want to get that wrong, but he had like some of the top marketing jobs, but now he works for himself. And I remember having a conversation with him back in like maybe 2018, 2019. I'm living in Atlanta, Georgia at the time. And he said, hey, bro, he said, and it's going to take about 10 years before you really take off. Beloved, 2025, man, telling you, 10 years in the game, 10 years in the podcasting game. I started in 2015, 2025, we 10 years in, okay? My 10-year mark is here, goddammit. And I really put blood, sweat, and tears into this shit. I really did. I really did. Now, I'm leaving it in the Lord's hand. I am learning to surrender more and not lean on to my own understanding. Romans 12:2, man. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is no longer my baby. This is God's baby. I am the vehicle. I am the vessel, and willingly so. Now, I don't want to rant too much longer. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I don't take it lightly, man, because y'all could be anywhere in the world on this here internet. But y'all tap in with me. Y'all show love to me. Y'all make it y'all business to call, text, and send me a DM letting me know how the show is going. I would love more feedback. Let me know what you liked, disliked, share some suggestions, what you may want to see on the next season or whatever the case. Or even just share, what you want to see more from me personally. All the things, man. We outside. Like 10 years in the game. I'm 10 years in this podcasting thing, man. 10 years in, bro. 10 years in, beloved. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's time. All right. Thank y'all for tapping in with me. I love you, man. It's Kimar Cain coming to you all the way live. Your favorite country cousin, your favorite Mississippian, and your best friend. Peace and blessings, love and respect. Mental Shampoo Season 3. God damn it. We here. I love you. See you next trip.
Mental Shampoo is recorded and produced at KD Creative Arts Media Studio in Jackson, Mississippi. If you're interested in taking your video and audio quality to the next level, reach out to the people here at KD Creative Arts Media Studio. If you want to grow and monetize your podcast, this is the place to be. Visit kdcreativearts.com today.